Hey y'all, Tom Schmooze, 80s tribute experience, Pop Gun rerun. Reason why I'm coming at you and making this video is because I've had a few questions here recently from my other rockin' friends who've asked about our live streaming setup. So I wanted to do a kind of a quick rundown on gear, what we're using and how we're doing it, software, that sort of thing, and get everybody who wants to be in the know in the know. So here we go. So basics, first off, let's show you the studio space, which is not really a studio. It is actually my game room. Being a rock star is hard. And, you know, when you live in a mansion and whatnot, occasionally you have extra rooms like this one, which now no longer houses my pool table. Instead houses the world's greatest tribute to the 1980s musical experience, Pop Gun rerun. So at any rate, let's start off with cameras. Cameras. I purchased these bad boys, the Sony A5100. We have 3 of them. We run a 4-camera stream, but 3 of them are DSLR A5100s from Sony. The reason why we use the Sony A5100 is a bunch of good reviews, A. Number 2, they send clean HDMI, which is kind of a rarity. Some cameras like Canons and so forth don't do that. And what is clean HDMI? I hear you asking it already. I'm going to show you real quick. Let's see. Okay, so looking at a stream here, or a camera feed. Let's see if I can get that focused. There we go. Down here you see all the camera data. Focus again. All of that camera data, that's not clean HDMI. When we go to a camera that's been properly set up, literally takes about 2 minutes. There's a bunch of tutorials online, or you can flip through the little instructional packet. Either way, it comes up with none of the camera information. Doesn't have your frame rate, doesn't have your f-stop, doesn't have any of that stuff that's normally present on a video stream. So Sony has clean HDMI right out of the box on the A series, 5100 to 6000 series. Excuse me, having an adult beverage tonight. Got a little bit of a hiccup there. And I think the 7000 series as well. The A5100s, they've gone up in price a little bit here recently because obviously everybody's getting in a live streaming, which has kind of pushed the price up a bit. But I was able to find these on eBay, either in a package with a bag and a lens and lens covers and cloths and a bunch of other little ancillary stuff, and a small tripod for under $500, $485, something like that. Or like this one here, I just purchased off of eBay for 300 bucks used. The other ones were new. It was just the body, did not come with a lens, but I have multiple aftermarket lenses that I purchased, wide angle and so forth. So we have multiple lens situations on the cameras here for wide angle, close in, and kind of more standard. We do have our trussing set up, as you can see, or our totem trusses, and those are 8 foot. And with our lighting rig on there and some lighting in the back and whatnot. And we did throw up a couple of LED filming lights. These here, found those also on Amazon or eBay for, I don't know, I think for the both of them I paid 100 bucks or 150 bucks. You can choose your color temperature. So they're kind of nice. LED, low power consumption. And then from the cameras we go, by the way, on the cameras, did want to point something out on really any camera that you pick. You do not want to be trying to run off of battery exclusively if you are running anything longer than 15 to 30 minute live streams. So we have these power adapters on each one of them, and then HDMI mini out. Make sure you purchase those. Those, from there, we run into this handy dandy Roland. Let's see if we can get it here in the shot. There we go. VR4 HD. This is a video switcher, digital video switcher with analog audio inputs and a whole bunch of other input and output options here. essentially this allows me to bring all 4 cameras in, plus 4 channels of audio. With the mixers, there's all sorts of options that you have there. Decent preamps. You could pipe in sound effects and things like that on top of, I want to say there's 8 channels of audio coming in. I use 2. I use a mono feed from our mixing console, which is the Behringer X32 digital console, the producer. And the reason why we go analog is because I wanted to use all of my outboard gear as well. I didn't want to run USB. I wanted to have all of my outboard processing, my crossovers, and all of my EQ, everything that I would normally do in a show. I wanted to run that out to the video input, and I had to do a little bit of messing with the delay. I think I've got a 30 or 40 millisecond delay on the audio to kind of keep it synced up with the video. But I've got my sub feed, and I've got a mono feed for the left and right, and controlled by faders here. Got your master fader here. This little doohickey is great because I can switch between camera views. I can do, and I apologize for it not autofocusing, there we go. I can do quads, I can do picture in picture. Oops. I can do split screen, I can do picture in picture, that type of thing. So it's pretty versatile. The good news is, because the fine folks at Roland do love a fantastic 80s group, they kind of sort of sponsored us, so I didn't have to pay for this, which is great because they're $2,500. Now, you don't have to go that route, and you don't have to have 4 cameras. You can do a single camera stream, which is fine. Even with a kind of a standard lens, you don't have to get anything crazy. Whatever the camera comes with will normally suffice. Put it on a tripod, boom, get the whole band. The key is to get good video and a good audio stream. That's what I think is most important, rather than just setting up your iPhone and using the camera on the iPhone and the audio off the mic on the iPhone. That's okay, I guess, but it looks pretty unprofessional in my opinion. It's okay for rehearsals or showing a friend, but I don't think you want to do that if you want people to pay for a live stream or to tip you and that sort of thing. So any console will work. You can use a digital console. A whole bunch of people have the Behringer series boards, the X series, like the X18, X12 or XR12, whatever it is. Those are pretty inexpensive. You can find them on Craigslist. You can find them on eBay, and then you can run that digital audio via USB directly into your laptop. But getting back to our setup, so we go from the camera, the DSLR cameras, HDMI out into our video switcher from Roland. From the video switcher, we go out via USB 3, and we go into the command center here. Right? I've got my laptop, and I'm using capture software. So there's vMix, there's, what else is there? vMix, there is OBS, which is free, by the way, open source. And I'm using Streamlabs OBS, otherwise known as Slobs. The reason why I'm using Streamlabs instead of regular OBS is I didn't want to pay for or have to go out and hunt down plugins that I could use for different functionality. I wanted it right out of the box to be simple. So I do pay a subscription. I want to say for the Pro version that I'm using, it's like $39.99 or something like that. So we've got, on here we've got scenes. Those scenes allow me to set up different screen looks. So I've got a countdown that I run. And then I've got my main channel view, and then I've got social media tags. Boy, this thing is not wanting to focus very well. There we go. I've got an animated tip jar that we use. I've got, let's see, if we have sponsors or clients that have hired us for a stream, like our last stream, I can put their logos on there. So there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with this. all of this overlay information here with our tip information and our chat bar right here, which brings in all of the comments from Facebook and YouTube, propagates here on the screen. There we go. My goodness, this is being a pain in the rear, isn't it? So at any rate, gives every screen look kind of a commonality with this bar down here. I like that. I think that looks professional. I think it sets you apart from other streamers. Another reason why I like Streamlabs OBS is I can bring in all these elements really, really easy with animated GIFs, JPEGs, PNG files, that type of thing. You can overlay them, resize them. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it. Create scenes. And then the coolest part, I think, as a guy who's trying to have as few people in the crew as possible to run your stream, is I can set my cell phone up, download the app, Streamlabs app. I turn my cell phone into a remote control. So as long as I'm on the same network as my streaming computer, I can switch through these scenes from my cell phone, and I can do that from the playing position. Key, right? I can look pro. I don't have to have somebody running the computer. I just have to have somebody running the video switcher, which is where my underpaid producer comes in, and she does a fantastic job, and we don't pay her hardly anything, except for room and board here at the house. Audio-wise, I mentioned that we're going through the Behringer, oh my goodness, X32. That's what it is, the X32. Behringer X32 producer. We are running all digital instruments, so we are completely silent. I'll show you a little bit of that real briefly here. Drums, we have a hybrid kit, right? So acoustic shells, we're actually the very first band in North America to have the roll and power ply heads on our hybrid kit. We've got acoustic cymbals, Zildjian A Customs, and we are running more rolling gear, a TD12, circa like 2004 or something. They're like $450 on eBay if you can find them. And we're running Roland triggers. So we're triggering all of this through the Roland module, which keeps it nice and quiet, lets us control the sound, lets us dial everything in without setting up 15 mics on the drum kit. And then everybody else is running virtual amps and so forth. So very low noise indoors. I don't piss off my rock star neighbors because everybody on the block is a rock star, of course. So let's get into the multicasting software. So we go from the camera into the switcher, which goes via USB into the laptop using Streamlabs OBS software, right? From there, Streamlabs is connected to software called Restream.io. Restream.io allows me to multicast. What is multicasting, you might ask? Well, I'm going to tell you right after I take a drink. So multicasting is simultaneously sending a stream to multiple platforms at one time or multiple pages on those platforms. So if I want to use Twitch, if I want to use YouTube, if I want to use Facebook, if I want to send it to a personal Facebook page and a band managed Facebook page, my personal YouTube, as well as a band YouTube to a Twitch page, I can do all of that simultaneously, which is important because we have lots of fans and we want to reach all of them. And the best way to do that is multicasting. So the reason why we want to multicast through a service rather than doing it ourselves is, well, you figure every one of these streams, I'm running at 2200 bits per second. So if I'm going to use 2.2 megabits of data and I'm doing that 4 or 5 times over based on the channels, I need to have 12 to 15 megabits upload speed and probably double that, honestly, if I want to get a nice clean stream. I run 200 megabit service at my house, which is 20 megabits up. 20 megabits up is not enough to run 2 or 3 or 4 streams to multiple services. So I pay a little bit. I want to say it's $14.99 for the Pro subscription to Restream.io, and they handle all of that throughput, which is fantastic. The other thing that they do, which is really cool, is they pull all of the chat from all those YouTube pages and Facebook pages, Twitch sites, and so forth, and they can send them wherever you want them to go. So I use, during the performance, we have our monitor, which is our camera view. Excuse me. That's what the cameras are picking up, so we have some idea what's going on out on the stream. And then I have a separate laptop, and that laptop is set up to pick up all of the restream chat. So all of the chat from all the pages ends up on that laptop. I can resize the text to make it large so we can see when people are, throwing us money, because that's what they do, because we're rock stars, or when they are requesting one of the multitude of songs, 120 or 30 songs that we happen to play, and sometimes even stuff that we don't normally play and we just pull out of our ass, because that's what we do, because we're rock stars. Don't want you to forget that. How do I know I'm a rock star? Because I'm drinking bourbon right now. And because you're tuning in and you want to hear what I have to say. So Restream allows me to take all of those comments from all of the different sources, puts them in one spot, which makes it nice and easy. And then I can drop it right here, right here in my stream overlay, and the chat comes up for everybody to see, and it shows which page it came from. Everybody gets to see everybody else's awesome comments, because at the end of the day, you really want to see what the drunk guy 3,000 miles away has to say about the greatest 80s band on the entire planet, right? Everybody wants to see that. It's very entertaining. So again, reason why I use Streamlabs OBS and Restream together as a pair, and they're more than platonic, trust me on that. The reason why I use them is because they work very, very well together. It's a little bit of investment, a little bit of money, but you got to spend money to make money, baby. And we're independently wealthy because we are rock stars, mostly. And so let's see here. Camera to the video switcher, to Streamlabs OBS on the laptop, to Restream IO, which is also on the laptop. And I also wanted to show you this. I use for the countdown timer, I do use a program called Snaz. What does Snaz do, you might ask? Well, besides have an awesome name, when I go into my countdown page, I can pull the countdown timer right into my stream. And I can set it to count up, count down, count backwards, count sideways, any which way I want. I can set up a stream for 5 days from now if I want. I could pre-program it into YouTube, pre-program it into Facebook, set up my countdown timer way ahead of time. My stream will go live automatically. It's pretty fantastic. There's tons of videos out there, lots of content providers who are going over this software, all of these different software platforms. Honestly, there's tons of stuff on all of this equipment. I just wanted to put it all in one spot just for you. Why? Because I think you're awesome. I think all of you are awesome. So again, if you haven't subscribed to us, if you haven't hit the like button on our Facebook page, Facebook at Popgun Rerun, POPGUNRERUN. And same thing at YouTube, youtube.com/Popgun Rerun. You can also visit us at our website, popgunrerun.com. You can see videos, you can see our calendar, you can see contact information. You can get a quote there for us to come to your event, because your event is special and it needs to be played by, entertained by a special group. And that's us. That's what we do. We're based out of Southern California. We'd love to see you. So come on out and follow us. Until next time, this is Tom Schmooze signing out.